With 200,000 years of modern human evolution under our belts, you would think that we would be in a pretty fit state by now, wouldn't you? Well, I'm afraid not. We humans have become natural unadapted outliers in this world. Our modern lives have quickly surpassed our speed of evolution. Having evolved from the blueprints of primitive apes, somewhere here, we've been patched together with a whole cocktail of unusual traits. Let's explore the most curious of these now. From day one, when your primitive ape ancestors decided to give 2 legs a go, birth had forever become a bit of a pain in the ass. Our pelvises became narrow to accommodate this newfound 2-leg phenomenon, and around the same time, our heads enlarged to accommodate our ever-growing baby brains. This began to make women's birth a little bit more uncomfortable. Or, you know, dead. But don't beat yourself up about it, it's not your fault. As we were congratulating ourselves on our big brains, our hairless Jabba the Hutt-like babies began being born earlier. Much earlier. And as a result, compared with our ape cousins who have 50% brain development at birth, we only have 25% brain development. And unfortunately, some of us don't progress much beyond this point. So why are we born so much earlier? Is it caused by the narrow mum hips? Initially, this was believed to be the case. However, now our early births are theorized to be caused by the high energy demands that we make in our mothers whilst in the womb. What most parents don't realize is that we continue to make these demands over the next 18 years. Luckily for us, we have cesarean sections, which literally entail slicing the woman open to retrieve said fetus baby. And as horrific as this sounds, C-sections have shot up 50% in the US since the 1990s. So in a way, as we continue to reduce the number of natural births, we begin to take away the selective pressure that originally limited the size of the head at birth. So this allows us to continue to select partners with large heads and narrow hips. But until what? We all just become top-heavy bobbleheads? Yeah, probably. Although with the rise of antibiotics resistance, C-sections will become dangerous again, and so we'll probably begin being born in plastic sacks. Like this lamb. But anyway, let's move on to your next challenge. Feeding. So you've just been born, congratulations, and you go in for that sweet first time suckle. But wait, what's this? You find that you can both breathe and swallow at the same time. Yep, that's right. A clinical investigation published by Nature found this to be the case, but it's not the infants that are the unique ones. It's us. In fact, humans are the only mammal that cannot do this. Even chimps don't have any issues with choking on their food. So why did we lose this ability? It turns out the larynx is anatomically higher in other mammals. This allows it to lock with the nasal cavity, leaving this airway totally unobstructed when swallowing food. In humans, however, the larynx is a little bit lower. This creates a larger cavity at the back of the mouth, which allows us to articulate complex speech and talk endless shit. It also provides us with the occasional pleasure of choking on our food. Okay, now let's move on to teenagehood, and the perfect time to introduce the amygdala. As you optimistically stumble towards adulthood, whilst frantically studying for a future that you never remember choosing, the stress-inducing amygdala takes center stage. It first became integrated into the primitive brain around 360 million years ago, but it hasn't had much of an upgrade since. The amygdala overrides the logical brain, and as a result you begin to get nervous in situations that really aren't that intimidating. It is the original founder of the fight or flight response, and to see it in action, just type Black Friday into YouTube for some human examples. Jesus Christ, we're screwed. So how have we let this primitive part of the brain have so much power over us? Well, basically, it's because the human brain evolved in stages. As we evolved the parts of our brain that allowed for higher mental functions, such as language and imagination, The more primitive parts had to stay online so that we could continue to survive. To understand how detrimental this could be, it is the equivalent of someone's nan using an abacus to teach their grandson algebra to help him develop a quantum computer. The outcome? Your brain develops some real fantastic traits such as anxiety, depression, unreliable memories, confirmation bias, general madness, and unreliable memories. Yep, that basically sums up university for me. It also leads us perfectly onto the next stage of human life, adulthood. Particularly the spine of an adult. Do you ever see a goat traipsing around complaining about a bad back? Probably not, because, goats can't talk. They do, however, walk on all fours, just like our very distant ancestors. This is what millions of years of human evolution adapted the spine towards. The whole sudden walking on 2 feet thing really cocks it up for us. You see, walking on all fours like our ancestors allows the spine to arch like a bow, withstanding the weight of our organs suspended below. So when we stood up, the spine was forced to become this unbalanced column. To correct this and to allow for bipedalism, the lower spine curled forward whilst the upper spine curved back. While this created tremendous pressure on the lower vertebrae, which now causes 80% of adults to have lower back pain at some point in their life. So if you're suffering from back pain, try resuming the all fours position when running daily errands until the pain is worn off. See, this girl gets it. Yep, look at her go. Can we at least try to be normal? All in all, our biggest downfall as humans is our impressively overinflated ego. An unquenchable thirst for greed and self-worth has triumphed our species, but destroyed our world. Both the key to our evolutionary success and our greatest downfall as unfulfilled individuals. We've developed a craving for an amount that will never satisfy. Never satisfy us. But we wouldn't have made it this far without it, so we might as well crack on now, shall we? Tally-ho!